For this year's CYL, personally, I guess I have not been anticipating it as much just because I'm really only interested in Tiki. Seliph is cool, but I'm not personally invested in him. Chrom is Chrom, it's whatever. Byleth is even more whatever, you know? I don't have anything against these characters, it's just, we get them all the time. We're going straight into it? We doing it?
Ta-da! These are the illustrious heroes who climbed through the ranks to reach the number 1 and 2 spots in the men's and women's divisions of the Choose Your Legends
Let's
Round
go.
6 event. They clearly need no introduction, but I'll give them one
Byleth's
anyway.
portrait art never looked that good to me. Here we go, here she is.
Be where the flow of time has guided me next on my journey.
Oh, this is cool.
Presenting the runner-up from the women's division, it's Byleth. Her weapon, Inner Wellspring, grants her the no follow-up effect if
She's a
within
flying
2 spaces of an ally at the
colorless
start of the
mage.
turn. Plus, if she meets a different set of conditions, her stats increase during combat, and she
Or
can
is she?
potentially trigger her special faster a second time. You'll definitely want her special to trigger, because when it does, its damage is boosted depending on her speed.
I thought they merged the two
Also, if she
Byleths
doesn't
together
take
in
her
CYL
foe
voting.
out then and there, she'll take less damage from their next attack, and even deal increased damage on her
okay.
following attack.
So they should be pretty strong.
To top it all off, when attacked by a ranged foe, Byleth can counterattack before their first attack if her speed is greater than theirs. Bow,
Oh.
dagger, magic, and staff users would be wise to think twice before
Vantage
stepping
forever.
up to this powerful professor.
Well, damn, alright.
Dressed as my father,
Seliph.
nothing could honor me more.
He's got a sword. His art looks
Now,
really
for the
good, though.
runner-up from the men's division, it's Seliph. Holy Tide Tearfing boasts an interesting effect. It deals damage to his foe based in part on the number of spaces moved by whoever initiated
Look at that description.
combat. The farther they moved, the higher the damage.
What?
A similar
Whoa.
effect appears again in Attack Speed Clash 4, where it grants a bonus to his stats based on the number of spaces moved by whoever initiated combat.
That's interesting.
Again, the farther they moved, the higher the bonus. Clever use of his weapon and skills will greatly boost his performance on the battlefield.
Sounds summoner duels friendly.
The Air to Light skill grants him stat boosts and allows him to move 1 extra space if he's near an ally at the start of
Oh,
the turn.
boy.
Taken all together, the farther away the foe is, the more effective Seliph will be.
Oh, he has big
So
speed,
don't
too.
be afraid to go the distance.
This is speed
Ever
Seliph.
since I've come to Asker,
Here we go.
I've met rather a lot of people. So many of them are dear to me now.
I'm so excited because now I get to introduce the winner of the women's division. It's Tiki from the Fire Emblem Awakening game.
I don't know what I expected.
What a pretty ribbon she's wearing.
She's
This
wearing
one
Tiki's
sounds
outfit.
reminiscent of her weapon, Remote Breath, grants her stat
She's green.
boosts during combat if she's within 3 spaces of an ally. Not only does this skill make her special easier to trigger, but if she has a special that triggers when attacking, then she's granted special cooldown count -1 before she even attacks during combat. That means she can trigger her special in no time flat.
It's a pretty good effect.
The attack resistance
Is she
finish
infantry?
4 skill has the same condition as
I
her
think so.
weapon. If she's within 3 spaces of an ally,
Attack, res, finish.
she's granted stat boosts. And if she meets another set of conditions related to her special, she'll deal more damage during combat. Plus,
I'm not processing
any
any of this, by the
damage
way.
she deals will cause her to restore so this divine dragon won't be going down without a fight.
I feel like her B slot perf isn't actually that busted.
If my power can be used to promote peace, then I will happily go wherever I am needed.
Oh yeah, this is obvious. It's like his Great Lord
Last,
outfit.
but certainly not least, here's the winner of the men's division. It's Chrom from Fire Emblem Awakening. Having risen to become ruler of Elise, Chrom comes equipped with all the trappings of a great lord.
His attack art
including the
looks
Byleth
really
Fire
cool on the
Emblem
left.
itself, plus
His
2
attack art is
number
really cool.
of bonus and penalty status effects active on him.
He has a fate changed, which is completely
The
different.
Infantry speed tactic skill grants speed +6 to nearby allies.
Oh, what?
Plus the null follow-up effect if they are infantry units at the start of the turn.
But he's not an infantry unit. We'll take a more in-depth review of those guys later. I guess I'm kind of whelmed.
And of course,
They all have good art, but I mean, nothing too nutty.
this is a choose.
Oh
Your
yeah, I
Legend
forgot we could
celebration.
choose
You
one.
better believe we're holding a free summon event. You can also get a celestial stone up
Yeah.
to 40 summons, up to 4 times.
The Sothis Regalia
The
is really
New
cool.
Heroes Weave of Fate summoning event begins August 17th.
It's
So
like
be
in terms
sure
of
to check
the
it out.
outfits, I think Byleth is the most
Oh,
interesting.
And don't forget that the free summon a new future event that features the top heroes from Choose Your
I
Legend
still need to
Battle
take
Tour
this.
will be ending on August 30th.
Oh, okay, 15
Remember
days.
to summon one of these heroes so they can join the fray. Speaking of heroes,
I have 15
joining the
days to
fray,
decide.
It's time to reveal the next.
Who could this possibly be? I mean, what are we looking at here? Maybe Largo? Maybe... I guess it could be Jeralt.
Grand hero. Hey, would you look at that? It's Jeralt from Fire
I hope he's
Emblem
good.
Three Houses. He's the former captain of the Knights of Saros. After leaving that post,
Breaker
Jeralt
Lance.
moved on to head a band of mercenaries and travel the world. He's also Byleth's father. Do you think he came to congratulate her on ranking so high in the Choose Your Legends
He has a
event?
really high attack.
Whatever the reason for his appearance, the Grand Hero battle with Jeralt Bladebreaker begins
Tall
on
Arden.
August 18th.
Yeah, frickin' how come Jeralt gets a perf and Peleus? Whatever, I'm still mad about Peleus a year later.
What did you think of this year's outfits? There's no
Oh shit, we're
shortage
almost
of
done already.
amazing skills either.
We're getting
I
Dragonflower
can't
boost,
wait to
right?
see the beginning
There it is.
August 16th Pacific.
25
We'll
Dragonflowers
be
from
increasing
Micaiah.
the number of times you can improve heroes using Dragonflowers. As shown here, the number of
Whoa.
times a hero can be improved will increase by 5 beyond the current limit.
I think Legendary Chrom can use 20 now. Like, I can't remember if Legendary Chrom is 20 or 15, but either way, that's disgusting.
Be improved will increase by 5 beyond the current limit. Dragon flowers will be available as a special reward in the next Forging Bonds event, Weave of Fate.
Times
You can earn
1,000? Is it times 1,000 each?
And of each of the 4 types.
Of each, wow.
Which means you can get a grand total of 4,000
It's actually pretty good.
dragon flowers. Get out there and win some battles.
It's actually
so you
really
can
good.
Beef up your heroes.
I know some people struggle to keep a stockpile of Dragonflowers. Faye, okay, yeah. Yeah, some pretty cool stuff. 1,000 Dragonflowers for each type is pretty cool. Dragonflower increase, you know how it is. Jeralt. Maybe we'll loop back to Jeralt later. First impressions. All the units look pretty cool. I think all of them have good art, except Chrom's neutral art doesn't look quite right to me. He looks off-model somehow. We'll look more at it later. But his attack art still looks really cool. The Dragonflowers made you more excited than the actual units. Yeah, as far as the actual units go, for their outfits, it felt... You know how, like, in the first place, the Brave units were just kind of supposed to be like, here are just the same characters with just some new costumes. And, like, a lot of times they were just, like, I don't know, costumes that already existed somewhere in canon, right? Like CYL1 and 4. That's kind of what this was. It's like, here are just some kind of new outfits that... Yeah, this is just Tigger's outfit, right? This is just Tiki's old outfit. And I guess this must be Chrom's Great Lord outfit. Oh, we have stats? Okay. Well, we'll look at Byleth first. First of all, she has 41 attack and 43 speed, which is to be expected, I suppose, at this point. Her special art here looks really cool. All these perfs have slings, that's funny. I think COL4 was the same way. Innerwell Spring, so she's a colorless tome, either infantry or flying. Accelerate special trigger. At start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants NFU. And also, special cooldown count is at maximum value, grants -1. If unit initiates combat, or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants blah +5 to unit during combat, and if special triggers before or during combat, grants special cooldown count -1 after combat. So she gets like a special spiral effect, which is pretty good for spamming specials. And then does she have another perf skill on top of that? So she has a perf special. Divine Pulse. So, okay, yeah, so her Divine Pulse gets -1 from slaying. So it's just a 1 cooldown special, and then after every combat you get -1 anyway. Boost damage by 25% of unit speed. So that's just like, that seems pretty good actually. Boost damage by 25% of unit speed. I think that's like, that's not percent-based damage reduction. Oh, I misread it. I misread that completely. It's not damage reduction, it's boost damage by 25% of unit speed. Okay, my bad. Anyway, completely misread that. 25% of her speed is pretty big though. Like she can probably initiate with like 60 speed really easily. So plus 15 damage on every attack. Reduces damage from foe's next attack by 75%. And unit's next attack deals damage equal 20% of unit speed. So when the special activates, she gets 25% of her speed. Then, on the next attack she takes, she gets -75%, which is a lot. And then her next attack after that, if she doubles during that combat, unit's next attack deals damage equal 20% of unit speed. Resets at end of combat. I still don't like these special skills that, like, they act more like passives, you know what I mean? It just complicates things in a way that I don't vibe with, but whatever. It's a pretty strong effect. So if you need a colorless hyper offense mage, you could use Byleth. She looks like Sothis, I'm sorry. Or you could use one of the 3 Micaiahs that are colorless mages. Okay, speed preempt. So, isn't this usually not accessible to mages, right? Like speed-based damage reduction B-slot skills? Like, what's up with this? Inflict speed -4 on foe during combat. If foe initiates combat and uses bow, dagger, magic, or staff, and unit speed greater than foe speed, unit can counterattack before foe's first attack. So she... Okay, wow. She's actually really strong. Yeah. It's power creep vantage. I'm interested in seeing who can have it. Armors can get this. I want to say no. But who knows? I think armors might be stuck using Savvy Fighter. But yeah, it's like usually these speed-based damage reduction skills are restricted to melee infantry. But this is like a colorless tome who might be flying. I still can't tell.
Attack.
Oh, excluding when unit savior skill triggers. Uh-oh. All the Micaiahs can have vantage. This unironically could be a pretty good B-slot skill for Legendary Micaiah, so that is interesting.
Speed is greater than theirs.
Can anybody inherit this?
Bow,
That's
dagger, magic, and staff use
potentially kind of crazy. Yeah, but for Byleth specifically, it's like she activates vantage, she gets her special proc, and then now that her special is proc during combat, she's going to take -75% damage. I think vantage strats with Byleth will actually be really strong. I think people will be running like, maybe not close counter builds because it's not necessary now that we have like near fighter or near save. Oh yeah, that's right. Vantage only activates here if it's a range attack, bow, dagger, magic, or staff. So yeah, I could definitely see people using Brave Byleth for distance tanking. Pair her up with a near save unit. Oh, I just realized this is not a speed-based damage reduction skill. It just looks like one. So it actually does not grant the damage reduction. It's just a brand new B-slot skill entirely. I kind of want Byleth, honestly. I kind of talked myself into wanting Byleth. Oh well. I don't have any orbs left. I gotta pull from my +10 Soth. He'll be good, right? Compared to these guys. Seliph is also here. His art looks good. Of course. Holy Tide Tear Fang enables Kanto too. So already really good. Legendary Sigurd doesn't actually have Kanto in his perf. There's no way I don't pick Seliph, TBH. I like his art best of the bunch and like him as a character. Yeah. I like to think that fans of Seliph will be happy with this. Even though it's not, like, particularly surprising, I think he'll still be a really strong unit. Like, so a special trigger, if unit or foe initiates combat after moving to a different space, grants block +5, and deals damage equal number of spaces moved by whoever initiated combat, max 4, times 10. So it deals damage equal to 40% of foe's defense. And also, if a unit's HP is greater than 25 at start of combat, unit's HP is greater than 1, right, so he gets the miracle effect. Once per combat, does not stack with non-special effects that allow units to survive with 1 HP. Okay. That'd be pretty annoying. I think slapping the miracle effect on a unit like this actually makes him pretty annoying. He gets a bunch of true damage. I think the lack of effective damage will hold him back a little bit compared to like Brave Erica, but I guess we'll have to see what his other skills are. So this is a new inheritable A-slot skill. Attack speed clash 4. If unit or foe initiates combat, after moving to a different space, grants bonus to unit's attack and speed during combat equal X plus 6. X equals number of spaces moved by whoever initiated combat, max 4. So it's just 10. I mean, I guess if you move 4. If X is greater than 2, neutralizes unit's penalties to attack and speed during combat. That's pretty good. Out of all the A-slot skills that we can use that boost attack and speed, the only one that negates attack and speed debuffs is attack speed bond 4, and nobody uses that. So, like on average, it's giving you like attack speed +8, which is perfectly fine. And it also neutralizes your penalties, so seems good to me. I wouldn't say it's worth replacing with anything, right? So his perf C, I think I was paying attention during this one. It was the only one I could process because it was short. If unit is within 2 spaces of an ally at start of turn, grants attack speed +6 and no follow-up to unit for 1 turn, and unit can move 1 extra space. So there you go, he gets a passive move +1. Well, a passive skill that grants him move +1. With 4 move spaces and Kanto and no follow-up and true damage, he'll be alright. I think he's missing a couple of the effects that made like Brave Erica so nutty and meta centralizing, like the effective damage and the... I think Erica has damage reduction, right? Yeah, she has like the null guard. But Seliph is going for something a little different, and that's okay. Alright, Tiki, the one we're all here for. God bless. People were talking about how Tiki's Japanese voice actor is the same voice actor that does like Pikachu. So people speculated for a long time that the reason we don't get adult Tiki alt is because they won't be able to get the voice actor in to do the voice lines. I suspect that for this they got her in to do the voice lines. So IS was like, you wanted adult Tiki and we wanted young Tiki. True. It's actually so true. I think this outfit shows up in the cipher at least once, right? Like on adult Tiki, right? I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah. I've seen people that wanted like the Nagi outfit or the Naga outfit, but whatever, I'm satisfied. Right, so I'm assuming she's an infantry dragon. We can't tell for sure. Okay, she's infantry. There we go. Unless she's secretly a flyer. Easily the biggest disappointment for me because there were so many interesting things they could have done outside of referencing herself. That's a good point. At least Seliph got like Sigurd's outfit. Naga outfit would have been great. Yeah, I would have liked, you know, like, because with Naga gone, Tiki is now the voice of Naga. Like, she's actually a pretty important person. Like, maybe it probably would have made sense to have her have like the Naga outfit. Maybe like a post-awakening version of Tiki, right? Infantry dragon. Oh yeah, what are her stats? Number I posted them earlier. Does she have a lot of speed? No. Okay. She has 43 attack, 27 speed, 37 defense, and 41 res. She has a lot of stats. What is her BST? She has so many stats. 70, 110, 188 BST. Yeah, she's got some really big stats. Her speed is like good enough, I would say. It's about where it needs to be, probably. They're saving that for legendary adult Tiki, right, Insys? Oh, if only. They do like making legendary dragons, so it's not impossible. Remote breath. Accelerate special trigger, effective against dragon foes. If unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants blah +5. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack, and also, if unit's attack can trigger their special, grants special cooldown count -1 to unit before unit's first attack during combat. And if foe's attack can trigger their special, and unit's res greater than foe's res +5, inflict special cooldown count +1 on foe before foe's first attack during combat. This is the first ever special cockblock effect in the game, right? We've had guard, but this is like literally you're in combat, you're about to use your special, and Tiki says no. My brain is too small for this. Tell me if Bridal Roy can kill her. We'll have to wait and see what her B slot is. If you're expecting to kill Tiki with Roy's special, then no. Roy's special will be taken from him. He will not be allowed to use it. Yeah, this is interesting. This is the first time we've seen this kind of effect. The skill description takes up the entire side of the screen. Love that. A new inheritable A-slot skill, which I'm very interested in already. I've been waiting for a new tier 4 attack res A-slot for obvious reasons. Stillwater, not quite what I'm looking for, right? If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack res +17 unit during combat. And also, if unit special is ready, or unit special triggered before or during this combat, deals +5 damage during combat. And when unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores 7 HP to unit. Okay. Just seems like a lot for a non-perf skill, right? It seems alright. Probably pretty specialized for Tiki, I would say, and maybe other dragon tanks. The 7 HP, so 7 HP per hit, which is actually pretty strong. However, she is green and she's a dragon, so she will die to Falchions. Blue flame might be good on her, that's true. Yeah, so she's got defense res menace, for defense res menace, which makes sense, and then she has her perf B. Alright, here we go. New divinity. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25, inflicts attack res -5 on foe, and also, if unit's res greater than foe's res, reduces damage from attacks during combat by percentage equal difference. Right, okay, so she gets the res-based damage reduction, like Medius and Dragon Wall. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 40%, foe cannot make a follow-up attack during combat. It seems alright. Her perf gives her an auto-double, and then her B slot gives her the follow-up negation. She does get fucked by NFU. If it weren't for the damage reduction on there, then I could see people going for Dragon Wall, but I mean, she has Dragon Wall right there, so I don't see much reason to replace this. I think people will roll with this B perf. And then finally, we have the Chrom from the Fire Emblem. At long last, it took 6 years to get CYL Chrom. I think I gave a vote to Chrom at least once because I felt bad for the Chrom people. Also, it's like Chrom's gonna win eventually, right? May as well get it over with. I was surprised Chrom didn't win even harder than he did. He got like 41,000 votes. I expected even more. Yeah, his haircut does not look good in his neutral art, but look at his attack art and look at his special art. They both look dope. So, we gotta be happy about that. But yeah, just that one art doesn't look quite right. For me, it's also partially the arm. It's like the arm is going into the background, which it doesn't look quite right to me. He's a lance cavalry. He has no res. He has a... let me scroll up to his stats. Let's see. 42 attack, 42 speed, 37 defense, 17 res. So just a lot of attack and speed and defense. It's about what you'd expect. Girdra Full. XY special trigger, effective against armored foes. If a unit initiates combat or is within 2 space of an ally, grants blah plus X to unit during combat. X is equal to number of bonus and penalty effects active on unit times 2 plus 5. Exclude stat bonuses and stat penalties. I don't know what this means. Exclude stat bonuses and stat penalties. Okay. It means all the bonus and penalty statuses that are not buffs. So like guard, penalty, and NFU buff. Like all that stuff adds up to his stats, which is kind of a weird effect. We've never seen that before. Do we need to do PEMDAS to calculate his bonuses during combat? I don't think so. That is funny though. Reduces damage from foes' first attack during combat by 40%, and also if bonus is active on unit, grants special cooldown charge +1 per attack during combat. Seems pretty straightforward. The armor effectiveness is nice, obviously. That's Chrom's new niche, I guess, as he gets armor effective damage. He's got like Swift Surge, which is good, obviously. And he has a new perf B slot. Or not B slot, you know what I mean. We can look at this real quick. Infantry speed tactics. So this appears to be a new tier 4 C slot skill that you can inherit to non-infantry, even though it buffs infantry. Grants speed +6 to allies within 2 spaces for 1 turn, and no follow-up to infantry allies within 2 spaces. Granted only if number of that ally's movement type on current team less than 2. Oh wow, Ignis really did call the entire banner. Chrom Lance, Byleth Colorless Tome, Tiki Green Dragon, Seliph Sword literally nailed the entire banner. Right, so infantry speed tactic is interesting. It's our first tier 4 tactic skill. It kind of reminds me of the infantry no follow-up skill we just got in Celica, right? Okay, here we go. A fate changed. Moves target ally to opposite side of unit and grants another action to unit. So there we go. It's just change fate. Grants any bonus active on target ally to unit and pair up cohort for 1 turn, and inflicts isolation on unit and pair up cohort through the next action. Granted bonuses exclude stat bonuses inferred by panic. So it really is just to change fate, except it does not have the attack +6, and it does have this like bonus stealing. I think Chrom will be really good because any new unit that has like extra action shenanigans, like Chrom, definitely he'll be really good. And he gets the effective damage against armors, and he gets Kanto on his B slot skill. He'll be really good. It kind of goes without say. He's more similar to Erica, and Erica is obviously really good. He'll be good in some duels too, obviously. So there we go. That's our CYL units. Overall, I think, like competitively, I think they have more potential than last year's units. But it's impossible to say for sure. Like overall, right? Where is Jeralt? Where did he go? Jeralt seems to have a lot of attack and defense. And he has a perf lance. It doesn't look like his perf is giving him any stats here. His perf does not have Kanto. 0 out of 10. So I'm pretty sure I'm picking Tiki as my freebie. I kind of want to summon on the banner too for that, for some skill fodder, but I'll have to talk myself out of it. I think attack res finish 4. Obviously not good on Legendary Micaiah because of the recovery. I could see it being good on Bridal Micaiah. Maybe Brave Micaiah, but they don't exactly need it. I think Brave Micaiah actually works pretty well with Sturdy Impact anyway. Oh yeah, we can look at Reddit. Let's do that. Oh, the jury is in. Reddit is not happy about Adult Tiki. Let's investigate. Could have been a very beautiful Naga outfit. Insist chose violence. Laughing at the audacity of it. Wow, people are really not happy. Cackled when I saw it. It wasn't a fuck you, they're just unaware of what their target audience wants. This is a good point. They took votes separately for Tiki's adult and young versions, and the grown-up one. This is actually an excellent point. I can understand the salt. Naga is right there. Would be better for a hypothetical Ascended Tiki. Well, let's hope they do Ascended Tiki to make up for it. I could actually see it. For like the next Awakening banner. When was our last Awakening banner? I think it was like the start of book 6, so maybe like 6 months out. Byleth can dress up as her goddess, but not Tiki. Please don't panic. Brave Chrom plus Fate Changed plus Asker. The fact that Chrom can take bonuses from whoever is actually pretty frightening, right? Because there are some very specific bonuses that exist, right? He could reposition like young Mia and get dodge and also no follow-up. Was hoping for Seliph to take inspiration from Deirdre, or at the very least not be under the sword. Yeah, I feel like they do this every time, where it's like, oh, well, Elliot could be a mage. Oh, well, Roy could be a mage, you know? It happens every time. Maybe it's a sign, legendary or Ascended Tiki is on the works. No reason to not give her Naga's outfit. Yeah, I think it's actually a pretty decent theory that will happen, because if they're going to go through all the effort of getting adult Tiki's Japanese voice actor, then they might want to record lines from more than one unit, right? We really got to appreciate IS's ability to always do the least interesting thing possible. It's like they can't stand her adult design and keep going back to her younger design for some reason. Yeah, everyone's upset about Tiki. The consensus is in. And then some people are upset with Seliph too. Wow, a lot of salt. I don't know what I expected. I'm glad that the Byleth people are happy. Well, no, the thing with Brave Chrom is that as long as he uses his Fate Changed, he takes the bonus of whoever he repositions. So if he repositions Winteraltina after she grants herself Vantage, then he can grant himself Vantage. Does that mean Brave Chrom can reposition Legendary Sigurd and grant himself move +1, right? So you can have Brave Chrom move 7 spaces in 1 turn if you reposition somebody that has move +1. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he can, though. Also, I think the buff doesn't even have to be on like another cavalry unit. I think if Brave Chrom repositions somebody with Armor March. Another question: if Brave Chrom repositions Summer Edelgard, does he get Assault Troop? It wouldn't be that helpful. I'm just curious. I feel like there's a lot of weird shit you can do with Chrom. Byleth looks exactly like I want her to. She looks so cool and regal. I guess they'll save Snow Mercurius for Rhea. You know what? I'm happy for the Byleth people. The mint Byleth that isn't red, hell yeah. Completely underwhelmed by just about everything. I guess Byleth is the most exciting. This batch is definitely a snooze fest for me. I wonder if just the novelty of Brave units has worn off a little bit, because like these designs are like about in line with what the Brave units were promised to be in the first place, right? That's what I think anyway. Like now that we're 6 years in and we have a bunch of different alts for all the different characters with interesting designs and outfits, it's like, okay, just getting them in new outfits isn't really that interesting anymore. It's like even an Ascended version of these units would have more potential to be interesting.
Could this be where the flow of time has guided me next on my journey?
She is a flyer. Bridal Micaiah in shambles. Speed res hold. Her entire kit is completely insane. Every skill is perfect. You don't need to replace anything. Literally. Yeah, no surprises here. Low speed defense almost seems underwhelming at this point. He maybe could have even used like a tempo skill. If cavalry units are allowed to have tempo skills, I forget. So yeah, we basically saw everything already. I'm kind of interested in seeing the inheritance restrictions on attack res finish. I could see it being like everything except armors. Although I think armors can use like brazen skills too. Whatever. Oh yeah, she is infantry, right? Just to confirm. Yeah. So yeah, once again, just like with Byleth, like every skill is perfect. You don't need to replace anything. Unless you have like a more specialized C skill in mind. I could see people using like Speed Smoke 4, but Elm is here too. Wow. So what are we thinking? Who are we choosing as our freebie? I've already made my choice. But what about you? In Twitch chat, and you in the YouTube comments. Hopefully I have time to edit this tomorrow. I'm gonna wait 2 years? No. Don't fall into the same trap I did with CYL4. I have only 15 days left to decide. I'm getting Chrom to abuse fate changed. Chrom because he looks the best. Yeah, that's true. I think, okay, so if I had to judge which unit was the best, I think I probably would say Chrom. Changed fate is extremely powerful and has a lot of utility in all game modes, really. I think maybe the second best one might be Byleth, honestly. Just because of her, like, Vantage shenanigans. Vantage plus damage reduction. Seliph and Tiki also seem good, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see how they do in practice. I think it's interesting that Tiki is, like, she's not just enemy phase. She kind of reminds me of Medius, where like Medius can still mess you up when he's initiating on you. That's kind of what makes him so annoying to fight. Personally, I'll be choosing Tiki, just because that's the one I was looking forward to. Anyway, I'm going to start wrapping it up there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out in the chat. Remember, you can join the Discord if you want to continue discussing Fae with us. You can follow the stream if you want to catch more live reactions. You can subscribe on YouTube at LoopySource2 for my other Fae videos. I uploaded a summoning session for Summer Micaiah recently. Follow on Twitter for miscellaneous other updates. And that's basically it. Once again, let me know what you think about the new units in the comments, and which unit you'll be pulling for your freebie. I don't think I'll be doing a summoning session for this. I'll have to resist the urge, and I'll have to just decide what I'm going to do about Soth. The new Soth seems less impressive suddenly. Oh well. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Have a good night, guys.